Special way also for all of our first responders. Thank you so much for our police officers, our firefighters, and all those that are in the medical field, Lord, that risk so much every day to keep us safe. Lord, pray you put a hedge of protection about them and bless them and help them to know our appreciation and gratitude towards them, Lord. God, we pray that, God, you would just bless us all. Thank you most of all for your Son, the Lord Jesus Christ, that you gave to die on the cross to pay for our sins. Thank you that you left heaven to come down here to be our sacrifice and our Savior if we just receive you into our hearts and allow you to forgive us of our sins. Thank you so much for that gift that you offer to each one of us. God bless us now, and I pray that, Lord, your blessings be upon this meeting, but even more than that, let your blessings be upon all of us, Lord, individually, and God, the city of Dothan, and this entire area, our entire nation. Lord, please bless us, Lord, in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Will you please place the flag and over your heart, please? I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, everybody. We'll make a note, City Clerk, that on our roll this morning that everyone is in attendance this morning. And item number 4 is approval of the previous minutes from the October 21st meeting. If I could get a motion in a second, please.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and seconds for approval. Any discussion or changes on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. All right, item number 5 is communications from Mayor and City Commission. We don't have any proclamations this morning, so we'll start with our commission. Commissioner Daniel, do you have anything you'd like us to make announcement this morning?
Good morning. I'd like to thank each of you for coming. I'd like to thank the city workers for answering my request expeditiously, and I thank you for allowing me to serve. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, good morning. Just like to thank everybody for the gift of their time, for coming to take part in some civic activities of our city, and just thank you all for being here.
Good morning, and I would just like to, just thank everybody for coming down and spending their time today. I'd like to thank everybody for the condolence of my mother's passing, and also we, as your elected leader, we always don't know what to do. I'd like to just thank every person that participated in the survey on the issue, because we're only one people, and you hire us to work for you, and we try to represent you the best you can. That's all. Thank you, sir.
Good morning. I just want to start by thanking all of our staff and volunteers who were out a couple weekends ago at Boo Fest. I think that was just an awesome event we had downtown. And then, of course, the National Peanut Festival Parade that followed that. It would not have been possible without the staff and volunteers out there on the weekend, making it possible for our community. I saw a lot of awesome costumes with the kids. I saw people eating so much pumpkin pie in a pie eating contest. They were probably going to be sick, and that was fun to watch. It was an awesome activity. It could not have happened without our volunteers and staff, so thank you all. Also, thank you to our first responders, our police, and our firefighters who were out there keeping everybody safe. We also had the Wiregrass Aviation Support Program with the helicopter in the air that day, so we had law enforcement in the air, on the ground, and I think everyone had a really safe, fun time out there. So I just appreciate allowing that opportunity for our community. I also wanted to just say, just briefly, that in the past few commission meetings today, and then the ones coming forward, we've had a lot of different board members changing out. I just appreciate everybody who's served on one of our boards, who's been appointed to the board, and then also those who have volunteered for our boards. It's an important part of our community to serve up here as the commissioner, but also for us to be able to appoint board members to serve on these important boards. I will also say that just because we don't reappoint someone to a board, it doesn't mean anything bad about those individuals. So I believe the community has put their faith and trust in us, and we're going to work hard to be transparent, to communicate with you, and to make sure that we have folks that are carrying out the will of the people. So there may be some consternation or some challenges as we make those hard decisions, but it's going to be for the best. And I appreciate the mayor's leadership and support. Mr. Mayor, thank you for that, as well as all of our fellow commissioners who are up here making those hard decisions. And I thank the people for trusting us. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Chief Benny, thank you for sending out the officers to Grove Park on Halloween. Everything besides the guy running around with a chainsaw was very smooth. It's always a lot of fun to have the community come out for that event. City Manager, is it too early to congratulate David Hasty, or should we wait on that?
You might want to vote on it first.
Vote on it first? That's all I've got.
Thank you.
Just a couple things. I got the opportunity to sit in with our IT department this past week on a cybersecurity summit. So it was great to see the employee participation and the willingness to learn. Even in that field, you're always learning. So I want to thank Nikki for your leadership in setting that up. And for me being able to go and participate and watch that those employees as they seem to enjoy their jobs and work well together. So that's good to see. Also got an opportunity that I was trying to take advantage of for the last couple of months and went to the Friends of the Library. They have a store on Westgate Parkway that, if you're not aware of, you can donate books, and then they're selling books, and they raise money to help offset the cost of our library system. So, and it's run, I believe, I may miss somebody out here, but Everly Bolton is the person I've always dealt with. She's on the library board. She runs that store. She gives a lot of her own time and efforts to generate revenue for the library. So I'm appreciative of those. It goes back to what Mr. Stock was saying about those that serve and give of their time. And so that was great for me to be able to do that. That's all, Mayor.
All right. Well, thank you all for all the comments, and I want to extend my condolences to Commissioner Bedwell as well, again, on the loss of his mother. I certainly can empathize, having lost both parents of myself, and it is a difficult time to go through. I wanted to say, also add to my comments to those that have worked out at the fair grounds and over the next several days as we do the 10 days. It takes a lot of, and most people don't know just how much we're involved with our police and fire, emergency response, and it takes a lot of people there. There's also a lot of volunteers that are out there as well, and it takes a lot of people to make that happen. And so I just want to say thanks to all of y'all that are out there doing that, and trying to keep us safe as we do that over the next several days. I'm very grateful for that as well. City Manager, we'll turn it over to you next.
Thank you, sir. First, I'd like to invite up Josh Jeffcoat from Information Technology as our Employee of the Month. Joshua Jeffcoat, a business analyst in the Information Technology Department, has served the city with distinction for 9 years. Throughout his tenure, he has demonstrated exemplary customer service and a steadfast commitment to organizational success. He willingly exceeds the expectations of his role, offering proactive support to his teammates and end users. When the need arose, he voluntarily assumed the critical responsibilities of the IT fire liaison, stepping forward without hesitation to ensure the fire department received the reliable technology support required for its mission. His readiness to serve reflects professional integrity and dedication to the city. Josh embodies core values that every employee should strive to uphold, particularly empathy, patience, and respect. He listens before he acts, ensuring that individuals feel heard and their concerns are addressed with accuracy and care. His calm disposition, even in high-pressure situations, strengthens team morale and reinforces a culture rooted in accountability and service. At the same time, Josh's curiosity and initiative drive him to identify issues early, resolve problems efficiently, and improve processes rather than accept the status quo. He is skilled, dependable, and genuinely invested in the success of others. Josh honors the long-standing expectation that public service must be both competent and compassionate. His authenticity, willingness to learn, and tireless support for his colleagues make him a deserving choice for Employee of the Month. He not only performs his job in an excellent manner, but also elevates those around him. Congratulations, Josh. Thanks, sir.
Thank you guys so much to Commissioner, City Manager, Mayor, for allowing us to highlight one employee each month. Josh has earned the confidence of many employees as well as departments, public safety being one that he has worked very closely with. And as the city manager stated, he has a steadfast commitment to organizational success. I believe that their confidence, the department's confidence in him, is a byproduct of him being so committed to the city. He's able to do what he does through his consistency and his habits. He is consistently proactive, he's supportive, he's patient, he's respectful, and I wholeheartedly believe that that consistency is the foundation of his success. Thank you again, Josh, so much for everything that you do.
I'm Kim Arnold, Applications Manager in IT, and that's a recent position, but Josh and I go back a long way. When he started with the city, I was one of the customers that he helped to support, and quickly became my go-to because he cares. He wants to make a difference. He wants to make it easy for everybody. And I just can't think of anybody that's more deserving. And that 9 years, he has been consistent. That's definitely what he's been. And he's very deserving of this recognition. So thank you.
I want to thank everybody for this award. I appreciate the trust and appreciate it. Thank you.
Just a couple of more items. The Alabama Department of Transportation will hold a public involvement meeting to discuss proposed intersection modifications and access management improvements along the Ross Clark Circle from Fortner Street to Alabama 52. The meeting will take place tonight from 5 to 7 at the Westgate Rec Center. It's going to be an open house format, so you can just drop in and see everything and leave your comments if you want to. Also, next Tuesday, November 11th, is Veterans Day. City offices will be closed. Trash, garbage, and recycling services will continue as normal. And we'd like to thank all the veterans for their service and their sacrifice. And lastly, I'd like to invite up Kara Summerlin, our Business Services Manager, to come forward and provide a brief update on our business license software.
I am excited to share with you all that our new Oracle Business License software did officially go live yesterday, which I believe is a big step forward for our division and for the businesses that we serve. With our new system, our business owners will now be able to create an account, log in, view their businesses, licenses, and permits that they have all in one place. They can also track where their applications are in the compliance process so that they have full visibility of that. It also gives them the chance to review any information that they have on file with us, so we hope to receive quicker updates whenever any information does need to be changed. Of course, with any new software, we do expect questions, and so our business services staff is available to answer any questions that anyone might have or to walk them through the process. Yesterday was our day one, and so we did have 4 business license applications successfully completed online. We also had 3 permits that were paid for with an online payment, so we were excited about that. Our finance and IT departments have worked diligently to see this project to completion, and I do think that this upgrade will make things faster, easier, and more transparent for not only our staff but our business community, and we are looking forward to the positive impact it will make. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.
How are we pushing out that message to the business owners as far as, getting on the application, being able to do all that?
They were all sent letters, correct?
We did send all of our business owners letters asking them to update their information so that as long as we have an email on file, they would be able to log in to this program and see all of their licenses to make renewal season easier. So we have sent them all letters.
Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
That's all I have, sir.
Okay, well, thank you. All right. There are no communications from the city clerk this morning. That's item number 7. So we're on item number 8, 9, and 10. And those are 3 public hearings, and the first one we'll be talking about in just a minute. So if you're new to this and you're not familiar with how public hearing works, then we're going to have a public hearing on each of these items as it's described in each 8, 9, and 10. And then the voting goes on, later on after we get through each of these 3 public hearings. So we'll do the 3 public hearings, and then 11, 12, and 13, 14, or 11, 12, and 13 are where we'll actually vote on those results after we have the public hearing. So, first up is a public hearing. It's regarding the amendment of Chapter 114, Article 10 of the City of Dothan Code of Ordinances to remove 38 parcels of land from the U.S. Highway 84 East Overlay District. And like I mentioned just now, it will be voted on in item number 11 below after we have the public hearing. And first up, City Manager, I think Todd's going to give us a little.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
He'll give us a little background as to how we got to this point.
Okay, and then we'll open it up after that to citizens that are here to speak on that issue.
Thank you, sir. So in 17 slides, I'm going to try to recount 9 years of history.
Okay.
I would be remiss by not saying that Amos Newsom was the catalyst for this. It was his idea to try to incentivize development along the 84 East corridor and link ACOM back into the city center. So that's basically the genesis for this. So the idea for developing the plan started with, Mr. Newsom, and obviously then it translated into the strategic plan, the commission's strategic plan. So in 2016, I don't know if this will work. There does a little bit. On the third one down, you can see it says 84 East Corridor Study. So that was pretty much staff's word to go, direction to go. So then as we started thinking about how we're going to do this, staff and we created what's called a request for proposals, an RFP, and to lay out what we wanted to achieve in the plan. So we did that. We sent those out to numerous consulting firms. We got proposals back from them. We evaluated those proposals, and we came to the conclusion that a company, they're basically out of Houston, but they're all over the country, Design Workshops, had the best proposal. So we brought that forward to the commission at the time. City Manager West said, because their price point was $250,000, City Manager West at the time challenged us to come up with some grants to help offset that cost. So we did, and came up with $75,000 that we were able to apply towards that cost. So that started off the process, the planning process. Okay. From there, we had extensive public input. Some of you may have been involved in that at the time. We had several public input sessions and announced it in the media as well as in the newspaper and on our website at the time. So we went through all this, the process, and came to a conclusion in 2019 that we had come up with the plan that everybody was considered to be acceptable for the corridor. The Planning Commission had public hearing as required by law, and that public hearing then produced a recommendation back to the City Commission. As state law says that the Planning Commission makes and approves plans, we always bring those back to the Commission, the legislative body, because at the end of the day, there may be purse strings involved, some funding of projects, and we want to have the political support for anything going forward. So that's what we did. And the plan itself is on our website, and it's under Dothan.org, the department's planning and long-range planning, and then it's in that paragraph there's a link to it. So it's still out there. But that was the easy part. The hard part is implementing it. And plans, by and large, are useless unless you're able to implement them. So we started thinking about how we were going to do that. Well, then came along COVID, and that delayed us for a couple years. But again, we went through the RFP process. We were pretty sure that we were going to be able to achieve the goals of the plan by going through an overlay district, developing and implementing an overlay district for that area. So that was part of the planning process to begin with, was trying to think about how we were going to implement this plan, given all the different competing aspects of it. So you can see that design workshops, their cost for doing this to us was $150,000. And our goal is, and it goes back in the 1920s when the federal government first implemented the whole process by making the public involved, requiring public involvement. So what's an overlay district? Well, it's pretty much exactly what it says. It is, the base districts are there, but we use an overlay on top of that, and we can look at different design uses, different design standards as well as uses, and we can set out then various sub-districts that we can achieve different successes with different sub-districts. Some of those sub-districts, are you familiar? We had a downtown overlay district one time. This pretty much replaced the downtown overlay district with the 84 overlay district, the downtown core, and the downtown edge districts. Then we created some multi-use districts, because remember the goal was to try to incentivize development out 84. So we did that through these MUDs, mixed-use districts, and we did a process, began a public process to try to understand what uses would be appropriate in the various sub-districts. And we've tweaked those, over the years. And some, because, the public process is never perfect. There are always the different competing priorities that come up, and we need to deal with that. And I've always maintained that we would do our what we had to do in order to make the process successful. So you can see in this timeline that where we started the process back in August of 21, moving down through January 20th to 22. So basically a whole year involved in engaging the public and trying to understand the different uses that were, are desired in that area, but also think about how we can make the developer more attractive to him, so he can invest in this part of the community. So that's pretty much what we did. And I highlighted a few of the more important things. We did an open house in the Opera House that was pretty widely attended. I think we pretty much filled up the bottom level in that process. And we went through some alternatives that were proposed by the consultant and how the different districts fit together with the plan. Okay, so, but at the end of the day, the Planning Commission recommended to the City Commission that they adopt the ordinance as it was developed through the public process. And if you recall, I don't know how many of you were here at the time, I think David and the mayor were, there were a lot of discussions back and forth with the development communities, different stakeholders in that process to try to fine-tune it before it got actually approved. So that was what we did. And at the end of the day, we came up with this plan. You can see we've got the DT is the downtown core, then shaded in green. Downtown edge was the magenta color, and then the various mixed use districts on out 84 all the way to ACOM, the city limits. Each of those are tweaked a little bit. The uses are a little bit different for each one of them. And what we were looking for was property that would have an impact on the development of 84. So that's the reason why it's laid out like it is. Now, there are a couple of developments in this area that were already set. The development pattern was set in Hidden Lakes and as well as the two subdivisions on the north side of 84 along Beverly. So we just omitted them from the district, and that was, I think, one of the things that we did at the last when we went back and forth with the different development community. So this is a pretty big undertaking. So state law has two different mechanisms for advertising zoning ordinances, changes to zoning ordinance. The first one, option one, is what we typically use for what we call a map amending ordinance. That is when you want to zone something from one district to another, we do a map amending ordinance, and we're required by law to advertise this once in full, and then we can do a synopsis the second time. That has to be advertised 7 days later, but that second advertisement has to be 15 days before it's heard by the legislative body. So that's why we typically skip a meeting on map amending ordinance. Now, the other method is option two, where we are required, and these are usually the bigger ones because of the cost associated with an ordinance change. This is a 66-page ordinance. So what we did is we advertised a pretty thorough synopsis 3 times in the legal section, and then 1 time as a display ad, quarter-page display ad. And that's specifically what is required by the state code. So we did that. Went through the at the time, well, and they're still involved, the media group, and so we advertised 7/24, 7/31, and 8/7 for the legal advertisement. And then we came back and advertised on the display ad, quarter-page display ad, on the 2nd of August of 22. And so we took that route because of the size of the thing. This is the actual ad that was placed, and not only do we put this in the paper, but there's a statement in here that requires, that says it's online and hard copies are available. We keep those. We always use take a copy to the library as well as post downstairs. So, and then of course online. So that's basically how we achieve the advertising part of this thing. So then we advertised it. It came to the commission. The commission approved it on August 16, 22, and then we had the overlay district in place. And as we've moved forward in time, like I mentioned earlier, we have tweaked that somewhat. The original overlay district included an area that went all the way south to Selma on Oak Street, and the conclusion at the time Mr. Cowper said that's too far and we need to pull that back. And so we pulled that area back up a little bit further north to Washington Street, I believe, and came up then with the current boundaries of the overlay. So then we had this proposal come forward. A member of a landowner, we've always receptive to members of the public, expressed concern that there was some property there that could potentially be developed as a apartment complex, and they were upset with that and So we went through this process, took it to the Planning Commission. Planning Commission reviewed the information. We made presentations. We had a public hearing on that. And we came up then with, or rather, the Planning Commission's recommendation to you is to remove the 38 parcels, except for the 2 parcels that are shaded there, and that doesn't do a very good job on the screen, but it's basically, let me see, I think we got a better picture. No. Can you get me back, Greg? There. So, you can't really see the distinction between those colors. It's not really good. There is a piece on the on the northwest corner of Beverly. Beverly is running pretty much north-south. And don't have, oops, didn't mean to do that. And then the large parcel on the right, which is currently, both pieces are currently being farmed. Those are the pieces that they didn't recommend come out because the landowner was there and specifically asked that they not be removed. So the request to you today is to remove the 38 parcels except for those 2 parcels at the northwest corner of Beverly and Rowland and on the east side of Beverly south to about Oppert. That's quite a trip, and for 9 years. But I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Questions from?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Now, the overall concept was to try to entice
Right.
folks on the east side, which we hear all the time. Let's grow on the south side, grow on the east side, or whatever. So this was a step to try to do that.
That's exactly what it was, and that was the concern that Mr. Commissioner Amos Newsom expressed was, what can we do to make, to incentivize development on the east side of town?
Did the Planning Commission give any reason for why they were in support of removing those parcels from the overlay district?
Well, most of the folks that, 38, wanted to be removed. They were upset that they felt they weren't given proper notice, and that they wanted to come out of the overlay district, and that would return them then to their original zoning category, which in that part of the world is basically all agricultural. That was the reason why their expression, and I think they're here today. They can express their own.
Thank you.
Pretty much a resident somewhere by there would have to take the proposed language in the notice of the proposed overlay district will encompass areas adjacent to US Highway 84 Main Street and South Oats, and say, well, I'm on Highway 84 East, I wonder if that applies to me, and then come up to the Civic Center and look at a map and see if they're affected or not, maybe, and then possibly could, or they could get on Dothan.org and find the resolution. They'd have to be, tipped off by that somewhat, because I'm reading it's not very clear here.
Or, of course, we're available. We had those different public forums, as well as, I talk to folks all the time.
In the overlay district, it's established now, does someone, as a landowner, have the ability to change zoning, request a change in zoning, just like we do now when we have someone has to go from a B2 and they want to go to an R1? Is that the same rules that's in an overlay district as well?
It's basically to come out of the overlay district, because that has the effect of changing the zoning back to the base district. We've got a couple of, well, besides the overlay downtown, we've got also an overlay we call the Principal Use Standards District, which is by and large in Districts 1 and 2, that basically says if it was commercial before, it can continue to be commercial without having to go through the parking and landscaping and all the other requirements that cost money. So what we try to do is incentivize development and get rid of the red tape as much as possible.
So the only way, just to make it clear for everybody, the only way to come in then would be to pull it out of the overlay district, to go back to the original zone.
Yes, and that puts it back into the old system.
And the other thought or question, a lot of them you said were agriculturally zoned.
Most of them are.
Most of
and I
them-
believe you've got a map in your.
Yeah,
in your
and
package.
so agricultural zoning, that's the minimum, that can be changed then to anybody, somebody can come in and buy a piece of property and then from there go to an R1 or a B3 or whatever it may be.
Yes, we call that a holding zone. Those properties come into the city, if they're annexed into the city, as agricultural. We know they're going to change, and I think you've got a case here today where we're going to annex a piece of property, but we've gone through a pre-zoning process so that the developer is assured that he's going to get the zoning he wants, or he needs.
Okay.
A follow-up on, Mr. Mayor, I appreciate that. Just a follow-up. So if we pull it out of the overlay district now, and it goes back to the original zoning.
Correct.
Then, I think a month ago, when we had a meeting, someone would come and rezone some areas. So the homeowner, the landowner at that point will have the ability to come back to us and request rezoning, whether it's for multi-use or anything else. They could go back through the process to have it rezoned to any of those things.
Yes.
It would just go through a new public hearing process and so forth, if we had to do that again.
Yes.
The original process was a little bit different than the base process, correct?
Well, yeah, what we did, is we took option 2 out of the state code. That let us, it took longer, and we had to advertise it more, but it was, given the size of the ordinance, that was pretty much, in order to be, not spend a lot of money to advertise the thing, that's what we chose to do.
And the total acreage of the two parcels is what, 56 acres, if I'm not mistaken?
I think altogether it's about 70.
70. Have there been any plans submitted to the city as far as developmental ideas for that multi-use 2 and 3?
No, there was a proposal in 2019 for R4 development, which is multifamily attached, duplex, tris, quads, up to 7 units, but the Planning Commission, in negotiation during the public hearing, and the applicant agreed to do R3, which is a small lot, single-family residential district, 4,000 square feet.
Okay. Yeah, and I was also looking at some of the dates for the kickoff of the project. It seems to be at a time that there was actually some major commission changes in 2021 in August. I think, because it looks like a bulk of the project lies in District 2 and 3, correct?
By and large, yes.
Okay, because I know at that time, there were commission changes in those seats in both those districts. So, do we know if any of the commissioners, either before or the incoming commissioners at that time in 2021, did they attend a lot of the public forums or meetings? Do we know?
I think they did. I think Commissioner Kirkland attended the public forum. I don't believe Mr. Bedwell was in office yet. But I think he did.
I think it may have was the other way around because Commissioner Kirkland went to the runoff and Bedwell, you didn't have a runoff, did you? No. So I think he may have was in. Okay.
So was the difference in cost here $829 to $250, or was that the total cost of the ads? Is option 1 here, BH Media Group, is that the left side, would it have been $829?
For the 3 ads, and then it was, then for the.
So it was $250 to $829, so we went with the $250 option.
I have to defer. Yeah, I haven't added those up.
About okay, that'll be fine. So the other ad was a lot more than, okay, I got you. That's what I was clarifying.
Yeah, advertised 66, when we redid the zoning ordinance in 2010, we advertised the entire thing, and it was actually a separate pull-out section in the newspaper at the time.
How many pages was the overlay? Wasn't it like
66 pages.
66 pages.
It may have been 1 or 2 less than that, because there are some
Something about right.
things we have to add into it in order to protect.
Okay. Any other questions from the commission? Okay. All right. Thank you, Todd. So now, I think what we'll do in order to try to keep this as orderly as we can, I think if you're here to speak for pulling out, for the amendment, for the resolution as it's proposed now, pull out the 38 properties. If you're here to speak on that, then it would be good if we could have a few folks to do that, and then after we have a few that vocalize their thoughts and opinions on that, and then maybe if that's enough, then maybe I can have those that are with that group to stand up, and then we can recognize how many people are in the room are for pulling those properties out. If that's okay with the commission, I think that's how we would probably proceed. So if you're here and you're for the resolution of pulling those out, if you could, someone could stand up. Steve, I think you had. Okay, and when you get here to the podium, if you will just say your name, I'd appreciate that for the record. Thank you, sir.
It was very hard to follow all that.
Yes, sir.
I hope that all of you understood all that, because that gets a little deep. Mr. Todd did his very best to explain that to me, which I understood most of it. But anyway, my name is Steve Kirkland. I live at 947 Oppert Road, and we would like to ask and appreciate your approving this proposal so our property can be reverted back to R1. But this is not all of our wish to consider. We would like all the property that was changed in 2022 brought back to what it was in 2019. This is the second time that we've had to defend our property rights and what we believe to be changed. And we have nothing against the people who sell this property, Mr. McAllister, Ms. Cooper, good people. It's nothing personal, but it's about what's going to happen if this land is made where you can put anything on it. Most of us have lived in this community for 30 years. I know I have, and the ones that are facing this said property on Beverly Road, they've lived there over 50 years. It's just been a great community. We've raised our families here, and it's a safe community. And we just have concerns about, how we were actually put into this overlap to start with, because we are basically a residential community as far as the west side of Beverly Road and Oppert Road and Pravat, as far as that goes. There's very little that you could put on that. The properties concerning us is the ones that are across Beverly Road in the small parcel. If Mr. Todd could put that back up there, the small parcel up there on Roland Road and the Beverly Road. We are pretty certain that if this is not reverted, that there will be some kind of apartments built there. What we would love to see would be a developer to buy this property and put a subdivision on it. Hidden Lakes is a great piece of property. People buy houses every day over there, and that's what we would like to see. What really hurts us is if there's apartments all up and down there, that the people who live on Beverly Road, the Mathises and the Mathises and the, I can't think of them now, everybody, they would have to face that every day when they get out of their front door. And when you have apartments somewhere, there's always the problem. You might have violence, you might have drug running. I mean, no telling what you're going to have when you do that. And I'm not against apartments, don't get me wrong. But that's just some of the things. 3 things I'd like to bring up. Safety, for one, what I just told you. Secondly, was traffic excess. Beverly Road is like Ross Clark Circle right now during school hours, and since Amazon and FedEx have built on the north side of 84, they gas up right there on Beverly Road, and when they leave there, they go down Beverly Road and Oppert Road. I mean, it's really busy. But I can just imagine what it would be if you put multiple residents right there like that, and everybody trying to go to work and what have you. And I just want you guys to put yourselves in our position. I mean, I understand what their position is, but we worry about that. And thirdly, this property backs up to Hidden Lake. It also backs up to our residents on the south end, and it also is facing people on the Beverly side there, see. I'm actually in this part right here. When you turn on Oppert, I'm actually right there. So this is affecting all of us over here. If you would change that back to R1, that would be wonderful. But our problem is with the MUD3 on the other property. And another concern that, y'all excuse me, I'm having a little congestion here, is how we were notified to start with that we were even in this MUD3. There was no signs put up, no letters sent to us. I understand Mr. Todd followed protocol by putting up the little legal thing in the paper. Who reads the papers anymore? We don't, and at the planning commission meeting, the only person who said they knew anything about it was Ms. Cooper. How she knew about it, I don't know. If I weren't looking for a meeting, I wouldn't be looking in the classified department. We're just saying that I think the zoning department needs to tweak how they let residents know what's fixing to happen to their property before it happens. That's what I'm saying. I mean, we don't have it. We hope they sell their property and make more money than they can burn. I mean, that's not the problem there, but it's what could be put on this property that concerns us most. And I say, we love our community. We've raised our families there, and we want it to be where if our children or grandchildren want to take over when we die, I talked to Mr. McDonald about that, they'd have a nice place to buy or sell or whatever. But we appreciate, you concern, put yourselves in our position here. And hopefully that this could be reverted back to the way it was in 2019, and that we could finalize this thing and we wouldn't have to defend ourselves every time something comes up. And I appreciate y'all very much, and I appreciate Mr. McDonald for his communication with me. Thank you very much, Todd.
Thank you, Mr. Kirkland.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm Gerald Crowley. I live at 113 Bridlewood Circle. That's a part of the Brook Hill subdivision on the north side of the area we're talking about. I don't think any of us would have any opposition to the land being developed along Beverly Road for individual housing units. We think that would be a good use since Hidden Lake is already there, a well-developed subdivision. Brook Hill Road, Brook Hill subdivision is on the north side. It's a long time of subdivision, and we would like for it to be kept for individual housing. There's one particular area I'd like to speak about. Mr. and Ms. Wise, the people who developed Brook Hill subdivision, had property along Bridlewood Circle. The hospital bought that 3 lots along with some other property they had, and it's being included in this overlay. Well, we have a lot adjacent to that. That subdivision, the Brook Hill subdivision, is regulated by a homeowners association. That homeowners association, to my knowledge, has not been notified whatsoever about the hospital wanting this 3 lots rezoned. It should stay as a part of the subdivision. I don't see how it could be taken out since it's been platted by the city of Dothan, been there for a long, long time, and the hospital wants to take 3 lots out and zone it for commercial use. That's not a good policy in my opinion.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Crowley.
Thank you.
Morning, Mayor.
Good morning.
Commissioners. My name is Leslie Hellman. I'm the president of the Hidden Lakes Homeowners Association. I moved here 3 years ago from Phoenix, Arizona. We represent 541 homes with an additional of 9 more being built at the present time and over 1,000 voting residents in our neighborhood. I'm here to ask that the 84 East overlay south portion be reset to the zoning that was agreed upon in 2019 for the area of East Main Street, 84 East and downward. The 2019 outcome, R3 zoning, was the product of public process in which the neighbors and landowners had an opportunity to present their positions and reach a compromise, and that was important. That zoning recognized our community's character and addresses residents' concern about density and property values. And property values is important to those who are living in the Hidden Lake area. In 2021, the area was included in a new ordinance called the Highway 84 East Overlay, standard procedures that would inform and allow affected property owners to participate. Mailed notices and/or posted signs was not followed. Instead, the only public notice was a link to a newspaper article in which we were coming out of COVID, which most people wouldn't have read at the present time, which made it nearly impossible for many of the affected residents to learn of the rezoning in time to comment on this. The overlay rezoned many properties from R3 to MUD 3, the multi-use District 3. This allows higher density, multifamily, and commercial development that is inconsistent and compromised reached in 2019 and threatens the property values and the quality of life for hundreds of us who live in the Hidden Lake Homeowner Association. We respectfully ask the Commission to reinstate, and please, the 2019 R3 zoning for the parcels south of Roland Road and reverse the 2021 overlay for this area. Doing so would honor the public process that was followed in 2019 by the Commission and protect the long-term residential character and value of the neighborhoods therein. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
If there anyone that doesn't feel like comments were made that would support your view and for keeping the amendment in, yes, sir. And then after that, we'll ask if you're for this to stand up so I can know how many people in the room are for keeping the resolution like it is.
My name's Coley Chris Mathis. I live at 574 South Beverly Road. I hate public speaking. This is the third time I've had to do it, all because of this piece of property. We received, I'm going to repeat some of what they said. I just want to make sure you hear.
Yes, sir.
In 2019, we fought it, and the commission went along. R4 was too much for the community and went with R3. In 22, we received nothing in the mail, and it was changed to MUD, whatever that means. 3, 2. My property, my family's property, is most of the property we're talking about in the that's in MUD 2 and MUD 3 here. We received no notices. Just for this hearing, we received 14 notices. So why did we receive them for this and not for anything else? Do the same thing every time. I've got nothing against the McAllisters and Pepe. I mean, it's not personal. It's when I drive out my driveway, I don't want to have an apartment complex across the road. If they're not going to plan on building an apartment complex, take it out of the zone. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir, Miss, yes. Okay, we'll come to the podium, please, so we can. If you could state your name, please. Thank you.
My name is Nancy Toller.
Okay.
I live at 889 South Beverly Road. And we bought our house in 2002. There were 4 5-acre tracts. There's Beverly School, then 1, 2, 3, 4 5-acre tracts that were rated zoned R1, and we would like them to be R1, zoned R1 again. Mr. Todd said that, or the way I understood it, was that the MUD zone goes pretty much the way it is now down to Oppert. It goes down to my property, almost near the school. And I want to be sure that we're removing me from the MUD. We voted, like he said, not voted, but we agreed, we compromised in 2019 for that property there at Roland and South Beverly to be R3. And we didn't think we had to worry about it. And then all of a sudden, for sale signs go up, and we realize it's multi-use development. So then it's when the ball started rolling for us. We were not notified, and none of us were notified. The protocol, according to online in the planning and development for citizens, there's a checkoff list and a protocol, a flow sheet, flow chart. You do this, 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 put up a sign, send letters, and they even give you a list of contractors to put up the sign, that you may or may not use. So I just feel like we fell short of this, and I know a lot of planning went into it, and I'm all for houses, I don't have any problem with that. I don't want to have to worry about safety, and that's very important to me and other people too. I've talked to many people since this has happened, getting signatures, which I need to give someone. I have not talked to one person out of the almost 80-something people that is in favor of this. I mean, all from Roland Road all the way down South Beverly, not in favor of this. Some in Brook Hill I've talked to. So I know that it's not the majority that wants this. And while I want everybody to be able to do something with their property, don't infringe on mine and the people around you. Don't depreciate their value and what they worked all their lives for, And Mr. Mayor, would you mind if hands are raised with the ones that are against this, against mud? Can we do that?
I was going to ask if you're in favor of keeping this a resolution like it is, which we pulling the 38 properties out. I was going to ask that after you got through speaking.
I want to make sure my property is on that because he said Oppert. Mine's a little bit further than Oppert.
It is on.
Toller.
Yours is on there, I think.
All the way
what they're
down,
saying.
okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah.
There's one other thing I wanted to mention, let me find it. A lot of this has already been mentioned because Mr. Todd went through that thing in a 66-page ordinance. I mean, there were two men that said, two commissioners at that time said, you got me? No, that's not, oh yeah, okay. That's me? Thanks. There were two people. One man said that he felt like he hadn't had enough time to review it and all of that, so he did not vote for it. He abstained. There was another one that said, that he had not been a commissioner long enough, so he abstained. Another one said that he didn't feel like we'd had enough time to review it and all that, so he did not vote either. So, in 2019, when we looked at that, when we changed, there was a realtor that was involved, Berkshire. Anyway, when I look back at the minutes, there was no development plan for that. I mean, we changed it to R3, but it was stated in the minutes there really no development plan for that. So, like I said, all the people I talked to did not even know about mud. I had never heard of that zone before, and they didn't know this was happening to South Beverly, and they were against it. Everybody I talked to was against it. We just strongly urge the zone of mud, multi-use development imposed on our properties from Roland and South Beverly roads down to almost Pravat, to be respectfully returned to what they used to be, what they were before all of this happened.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
One quick thing.
Yes, sir.
If we vote on the resolution, I'm totally Chris Matheson. Are we voting to take it all out or just what's in the proposal? Most of the people here want all of it returned to where it was, not just the 38.
So, yes, one second. We'll get to that question if you will. I'm going to let everybody finish speaking and then we'll get to that, okay? You remember, help me hold on to that thought. So if you're for the amendment that's proposed right now, like the others were, if you'll please raise your hand, then the commission can know how many people in the crowd are for it. Like, yes. So Mr. Kirkland, all the others.
No, that would be if you want to leave 38.
If you want to.
No, well, then you ain't for it.
What's all?
So.
Is it the whole?
So just to be clear, so the MUD 3 portion, which is not included in this current ordinance, you guys want that added to this ordinance. You agree with everything being pulled out that's on the list, but in addition to the MUD 3.
So you're asking, he's asking who would be in favor of leaving the amendment like it is, only pulling 38 properties out.
Right. Because that's what's before us. We either have to vote on what's there, or we have to amend it or not move it forward.
So that'd be.
Yes, ma'am. Would you like to come approach? Yes, ma'am.
So, good morning. Thank you for hearing me. My cousin, I'm Pepe Cooper, and my cousin and I and my brothers own the 56 acres that this group wants taken out of the overlay. I do not want my property taken out of the overlay. I keep hearing there's going to be an apartment complex. I've never said the word there was going to be an apartment complex. I've never put a plan before the Planning Commission that there would be an apartment complex. So that is an untruth. My confidence, and it's not R4. It would have to be zoned to R4 for that to happen. It is not. It is zoned R3. It is zoned mixed-use development, and anything that would be planned would have to first go before the Planning Commission, and then it would have to be voted on by the commissioners. My concern for all of this is if we take any property out of the overlay or the master plan that's been going on since 2016 and it's 2025, it erodes everything. So as the 38 property owners want everything taken out, I want everything to stay in. Because the reality is, you don't have to change anything if you're in. Nothing has to change unless you sell it. But if your children or grandchildren choose to sell it, there is zoning that's already there, and they don't have to start over and come before a board. So my recommendation, the city spent $400,000 and 4 years of planning and multiple meetings, multiple advertisements. I went to those meetings. I was at the Opera House. I've got pictures of those meetings. You showed some with rooms full. So it's unfortunate that everybody wasn't there. I can't help that. I'm a person, I own more than the 56 acres on Beverly Road. We own property all down McAllister Road. It's named after my granddad, for goodness sakes. Curtis McAllister Road. That was my grandfather. I live on Pravat. I have a vested interest in what goes on that property. I'm not selling right now. But is the property for sale? 28 acres of it is. And 28 acres of it is not. But if anything happens to anybody's land, you can't just go start building. There is a process. And I put my faith in the Planning Commission because there would have to be a hearing of what's going up. There would be the signs of what's going up. There would be community involvement of what's going in. And then guess what? It comes right back to the commissioners to vote on. So my vote and my recommendation is this. Nothing comes out unless the city wants to invest in a second study for the land involved to look at what's going to happen to all the work that was done. Because if you take even one property out, you've eroded the entire master plan. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Cooper. Todd, did you have something you wanted to add at that particular time?
Sir.
Did you have anything you wanted to add?
No, I think everybody's spoken their hearts, and I think the proposal that came to you from the Planning Commission was to remove the 38 and leave Ms. Cooper's property in. Okay, that's what came to you from the Planning Commission.
Right.
For you to remove the other properties, you can't do it here. It'd be a significant change, and you'd have to have another public hearing on it. Now, you can send that back to the Planning Commission, or you can have the public hearing yourselves.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions for Tom? Commission? Okay. All right, I saw another hand go up. All right, yes. Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jeff McAllister, and I'm the other half owner of the property that we're speaking about. I kind of feel like we should have introduced us to begin with because we're the only two that we're basically talking against. So, but I'm Jeff McAllister. And I've heard a lot this morning, and I understand and appreciate everybody's position on this. I really do. But my family basically built that community. It all originated as McAllisters. And we've been there, I was born and raised there until we moved to our farm in Gordon. I no longer live there, but I still own a lot of property in the area. So me and my cousin both agree that we have a vested interest in the community, and we're not looking for anything to destroy the community. But that also being said, I heard my a lot. My, I don't want my messed up. Well, this is my property. I'm not asking y'all to change anything any different. I want it to stay what y'all have got it. And that's all I'm asking for, is just to leave it the way it is and allow me to be able to do what y'all have encouraged to be within my rights to do so. I believe in building the east corridor that we have, everything is built around Dothan except that. And I do believe that this is a stepping stone to be able to promote more growth in the area. Now, I understand people and I farm the property that's over there. I'm the one who row crops it. And as I said in the planning committee, I'm having to get out because of the urban sprawl of Dothan don't allow me to be able to bring machinery up and then through there anymore. And whoever owns it, will not be able to farm it. There's no way. So the beauty of the farming has to go. That's just part of life. I mean, life changes and things happen. We all have the right to do whatever we need to do, but my portion is for sale, which I would encourage anybody who wants to buy it. They can welcome to buy it and you can do whatever with it you want to do with it. But I want to sell it, and I have other debts to take care of, and this is going to allow me to be able to do that and get my family in a better position. And so I wanted to be able to speak. There's been so many to speak against, and there's only two of us to speak for. So, but thank you for your time. Thank everybody else for their time. I don't wish any ill will towards anybody here. I know most of these people here, but there again, this is my property and my cousin's property that we're talking about, and all we're asking to be able to do is just what y'all have given us the right to be able to do, and we wish that y'all would uphold that. So, Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. Well, at some point, I'm going to have to say that we've had enough because we'll have to move the meeting forward. So if you're saying the same thing, let's stop. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Okay.
It's our home. We expect to live there until we die. We looked all over Dothan and found a place that we like. And we had the house built exactly like we wanted. And I'm sure there are others that are the same way. And sure, it's good to develop. Not opposed to any of that. But at least leave our subdivision as it is and the houses. Right now, our property, we have 5 lots. Our property is just one house between us and Belleville. Oh, not a lot of it. Okay, Rolling Road, we have several pieces of lots there that border on
Yes, ma'am. I'm going to allow one more, and then we're going to move forward if we can, please.
I promise I'll be brief. My name is Tanja Sasser. I live at 760 South Beverly Road. This is the third time I've had to do public speaking about this. I just want to say that I think we all know that what was done, how this was handled, was wrong. Right is right, and wrong is wrong. We, in 2019, opposed R4 zoning. We wanted R1 or R2. Well, that's what I wanted. You know, we compromised on R3. If at that time this was in the process, why were we not told? We're working on this eastern overlay and you're going to be mud. We were not told that. I believe, and I think we're all intelligent enough to know, we were left out. We were left out of the process because our planners knew there would be opposition. Removing South Beverly Road from the eastern overlay does not destroy the overlay. It's not going to cost the city hundreds of thousands of dollars. Just remove South Beverly Road from the overlay. Do what's right. Do what's fair. Do what's right. This is wrong. This is wrong for us. It's wrong for our city. Dothan is better than this. You know, we are hardworking, honest citizens, and we're asking you to do the right thing. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. All right, Commissioner, I'm going to say we move forward if that's okay with you guys. Yes. Okay, all right. All right, thank you, everyone. I know that was a lot, and I think we needed to spend the time on that as well. So we're going to call the public hearing closed on item number 8 and move forward then on item number 9 and 10 on the public hearing. Item number 9 is the public hearing regarding the finding of certain buildings or structures as unsafe to the extent of becoming a public nuisance and determining if the demolition is in order. It will be referenced in item number 15 below. If there's anyone that wishes to speak on this particular item, item number 9, may they please approach the podium. Okay. There's no one out in the lobby coming forward, no one coming forward from here. I'm going to say that the public hearing is now closed on item number 9. Item number 10 is a public hearing regarding the assessment of weed abatement cost against the various properties, which will be referenced under item number 16 below. If there's anyone that wishes to speak on this particular item number 10, they will please approach the podium at this time. Okay, no one on item number 10?
Yes, sir.
You're speaking on item number 10?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
About weed abatement.
Yes, sir.
Here, a couple weeks ago, we talked about Roundup, using Roundup. And I've talked to the guy that's over that. Let me ask you this question. Would you pour 2.5 gallons of Roundup in a swimming pool and swim in it? You can take liquid chlorine, which is 12.5% sodium hypochlorite, and kill weeds just as good as Roundup, and you won't have the lawsuits you have to do with Roundup. And 2.5 gallons of chlorine will cost you about $8.50. How much does Roundup cost? You got to be good stewards. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. All right. No other comments on item number 10, the public hearing? All right. The public hearing is now closed on item number 10. All right. On your agenda, we're moving forward to item number 11, which is ordinance number 2025-300. It's amending the chapter 114 zoning articles 10 of the City of Dothan Code of Ordinance to remove 38 parcels of land from U.S. Highway 84 East Overlay District. This requires a motion for immediate consideration from the commission.
I'll make a motion for immediate consideration.
Second. Motion and seconds for immediate consideration. All in favor say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. All right, we move it forward. Need a motion and a second for approval or denial.
Actually, I actually did a survey, and we don't know everything as commissioners. I like asking people what they think. 299 people was against the apartments. 296 was against any kind of commercial. All was for removing all 40 properties from the overlay, and as much as I don't want to, but as their public servant, I'm going to make a motion that everything south of Rolling Road, all 40 properties be removed from the overlay, and see if anybody else would want to support it.
City Clerk, in order to get this, an amendment pushed forward, do we have to move forward with this and under discussion, or can the amendment be asked for now, or? Okay. And, so you need to restate that, your amendment that you're asking for.
I'll, want to be technical, amending Chapter 114 zoning of Articles X of the City of Dothan Code of Ordinance to remove 38 parcels, that'd be 40 or 41, it depends if they're 3 parcels or 2 parcels of land from the U.S. Highway 84 overlay district.
Okay.
Because that was recently sold, I mean, so it may be 3 parcels now, it could be 2.
Are you asking to include the MUD 3?
That would be to revert everything.
The 2
back
and the
to Rolling
3.
Road, which would make everything revert back to status, but you gotta advertise it for a month and it comes up for another meeting.
That's a significant change, is not
Yeah,
my understanding.
absolutely.
That's a significant change under the law that we would have to abide by. Okay. So there's amendment on the floor, as stated by Commissioner Bedwell. Is there a motion for that amendment? Is there a second to that amendment?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the amendment. Any other further discussion from the commission?
Just a comment, I guess.
Yes, sir.
I feel for both sides on there. And so I don't know if I guess there's not a happy medium in here, but I know folks would have preferred to have more notification, whatever. We did go through a long process. I remember going to those meetings and a lot of folks were there. And so to me, there was an opportunity to express your displeasure with that. And it is the MUD now, and I'm not much for taking somebody's property rights back. So the folks that spoke, with their 2 parcels, want to keep that development, want to have that ability to sell their property or do what they want with it. And those will come up during a planning commission meeting. And it may not be apartments. It may be, could be R1, could be R2, could be R3, could be office, I guess. And so for that, I prefer to keep the entire thing like it is. So I would not be in favor of that amended ordinance to remove all of them. I would prefer to keep all properties in the MUD. So I'll be voting against that amended.
Well, I'd sort of like to put something out there and make sure we get this on the table and have a firm understanding from staff, commission, and everybody that's come forward. First and foremost, we've acted within the purviews of our law. So to refute that or say that that's not right, that's wrong, okay? We've done what the state of Alabama requires us to do in order to publish this and do it. So that needs to be out there. We've acted within the confines of the law. We have not done anything wrong, okay? Laws are put in place for a reason. That's so we have direction as to what we're supposed to do in our community. And I appreciate Todd and I appreciate the staff acting in that manner. This has been contemplated for 9 years. Before I was on the commission here, I was on the planning commission. I remember all of this. It was advertised ad nauseum because I got tired of hearing about it, honestly. I was ready for us to move forward with it. It's operating exactly as my previous colleagues intended it to, as well as staff. We need development on the east side of town, and I don't think anybody could dispute that. We can't make decisions simply on speculation. We have no idea what this land is intended to do, okay? There will be opportunities when we understand those and have all of the facts in order for us to give our feedback and say whether we want them or not. This issue is not ripe for us to understand all the facts. This issue is not right for us to discard what we've previously done or not. So in doing so, if we operate on speculation, we're opening Pandora's box for this entire overlay district, and we can't do that. That's not responsible. That's not what we're called to do. We need to make sure we understand everything and act on those facts. We don't have the facts as we sit here today, I will not be in favor of doing anything to this, Mayor.
Anybody else?
Yep. I'll add that it is a very difficult issue. We have a lot of different homeowners, and in fact, a month ago, and the reason why I was asking Mr. McDonald the question earlier about the process, because a month ago we had some landowners come to us and they said, hey, we want to have this rezoned. And they had a development plan, and the neighborhoods around there spoke about the development plan. So there was a process that was taking place here before us, and in the end we voted to approve that rezoning. At first the neighbors had some consternation, but then it was resolved with hard work of the staff and meetings and so forth. I feel like if this does revert back to its original state, as Commissioner Pierce mentioned, you're removing all of the what-ifs, all of the fear of what could happen. I don't necessarily believe this harms the current landowner. I believe what you could do is if you had a buyer or a developer for that property, you could bring it back to the proposal, and just like we did a month ago, maybe the neighbors would be in favor of something, but right now there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of unknowns. And so I would be in favor of reverting this back to its original status, and then I would also encourage the landowners or any future developer to come bring a proposal that we can talk with about. We could talk with the other landowners around about. Maybe there's something that everyone could get behind. But right now I think the issue that I'm seeing is the entire community around there, they're not sure of what it could be, and so there's that fear. So if we revert it back, then we have that discussion going forward. And I think most of the landowners that I've spoken to in previous issues and in this issue, they're willing to look at a future development when it comes up, when it's time. It's just the unknowns right now, so I would be in favor of the amendment.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, just maybe kind of concurring the sentiments of Commissioner Stock. Is there anyone that is not in favor of any type of development for the property? So that would allow the property owners to go through the proper protocol for rezoning in the future, correct? If this is reverted back.
It will revert back to the zoning that it was before, and then if somebody wants to develop a piece of land, then they come before and go through the process as we normally would.
So through the technical means, it wouldn't restrict them from pursuing any type of development options in the future, correct? Mr. McDonald?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so I would be in favor to allow them at a future date to revisit with a very transparent plan that would affect all the residents in the area. So with that being said, I would support reverting it back to the original zone.
Commissioner Daniels, you have anything you'd like to say?
I would like for them to revert it back, and they have some more planning and bring it back to us.
Okay, so we have an amendment to the resolution as presented by Commissioner Bedwell, seconded by Commissioner Kirksey. Any other discussion from the commission before I take the vote?
I did have one question. Will everybody in that overlay, if they do any altercation to their property, would they have to also submit a reclaim to the commission?
Todd? I'm not sure if I understand.
If anybody within that, if they want to alter their property to do, will they also have to come back?
For the entire overlay?
No, well, yes, within the entire,
Yeah.
the 38 parcels within that we're speaking of here today.
Yeah, if they approve the amended ordinance and it goes back to another public hearing and that's approved, then it basically reverts all the base zoning of this portion of the overlay is then comes to the surface. The overlay goes away, all the mixed use.
If we're to be made to come back, which if that's what we want, that's fine, but I would think that everybody within that community,
Everybody.
if they want to do anything to alter their.
They would have to come back. Yes, sir.
Come and do the
Yes,
same
sir.
process.
Be just like in any other parts of the city. Yes, sir.
That's correct.
Okay. Any questions from commission? We good? All right. Then again, I'll restate, we have an amendment to the ordinance, then recommended by Commissioner Bedwell, seconded by Commissioner Kirksey. All in favor for that amendment, raise your right hand. Any opposed? All right.
That amendment passed, so this will need to be advertised, for a public hearing.
Okay.
And, I believe I can start publishing that Saturday with the December 2nd.
Okay. Is that understood by everybody in the crowd? No? Couldn't hear. Could you speak up, please, Wendy?
Yes, sorry. So this will need to be advertised, this amended ordinance to include all the properties, and that will be a public hearing on December 2nd.
It has, since it's a significant change, we have to go through the process of having another public hearing for this ordinance that was just amended just now. All right? Okay? All right? All right. All right, well, if you don't want to stay for the rest of the meeting, you can exit quietly, and then we'll move on with our rest of our meeting. Just want to say thanks to staff, Todd, thank you for everybody. Thanks for everyone for being here. I know it's difficult sometimes with issues, but thank you, Commission, by the way. Thank you, Commissioners. Thank y'all. All right. Okay. All right. Again, thank you to everyone that's in the crowd, and thank you, Commissioners. Y'all did an awesome job, and I appreciate it. Item number 12 is ordinance number 2025-301. It's annexing certain property owned by Mary S. Reeves, located along the south side of the 1100 block of Bethlehem Road into the Dothan city limits. I need a motion and a second for immediate consideration, please.
Motion for approval. Second.
Motion and seconds for immediate consideration. All in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay. Need a motion and second for approval.
Motion for approval. Second.
Motion and second is for approval. Any questions or discussion by the commission on this ordinance? All right. Hearing none, then all in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay. All right, item 13 is another ordinance number 2025-302, entering into a franchise agreement with Troy Cablevision Incorporated to allow the construction, operation, and maintenance of a fiber optic infrastructure network within the city of Dothan. It also needs a motion for immediate consideration.
Motion for immediate consideration.
Second.
Motion and the seconds for immediate consideration. All in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay. Need a motion and second for approval, please.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and seconds for approval. Any discussion or comments from the commission? All right, hearing none. All in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay. Item 14, ordinance number 2025-303, entering into a franchise agreement with Troy Cablevision Incorporated to allow the construction, operation, and maintenance of a cable system within the city of Dothan. It will need a motion for immediate consideration.
Motion for immediate consideration.
Second.
Motion and second for immediate consideration. All in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and the seconds for approval. Any discussion or comments from the commissioner? All right, all in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay. Item 15, resolution number 2025-304, finding certain buildings or structures as unsafe to the extent of becoming a public nuisance and ordering said properties to be demolished.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and seconds for approval. Any discussion or questions? All right, all in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay. Item 16, resolution number 2025-305, confirming the cost incurred in weed abatement of properties determined to be nuisances and turning the amounts over to the county tax collector to be added to the next regular bills for taxes levied against the properties.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and seconds for approval. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay. Item 17, resolution number 2025-281 is confirming the cost incurred in structure abatement proceedings for the properties determined to be nuisances and turning the amounts over to the county tax collector to be added to the next regular bills for taxes levied against the properties. Remember, this was tabled from October 21st of 2025. We'll need a motion and a second to remove it from the table.
Motion.
Remove from table.
Second.
Motion and second is to remove it from the table. All in favor say yea.
Yea.
Any opposed say nay. Need a now motion and a second for the approval or denial.
Motion Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and seconds to approve. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. All right, slow down a minute. Item 18, because this is an important one too. Resolution number 2025-306 is appointing David G. Hasty as Fire Chief effective January 1, 2026. Item requires a motion and a second, please.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and second and third for approval. Any discussion? Okay.
Just to let you know, I can be objective, y'all made a very wise decision. You know, in life, you can look at people, you got bulldogs and chihuahuas, you hired a bulldog. If you take a fire hose and you double the diameter from 1.5 to 3, it flows 4 times the material. Another candidate didn't know that, but y'all did a very good job. Proud of y'all.
Thank you, sir. All right. Any other discussion from the commissioners?
Congratulations. Yeah, congratulations. I think in the process, I think the process was very fair and transparent, so I'd like to applaud the city manager on how he went through that process and the whole thing, so great job on that.
He even had external candidates, I think. That's great.
Yes, I concur that we had great internal candidates, and I want to applaud the chief and the rest of the fire department for that as well. Y'all have done a good job of developing candidates here in our fire department. So thank you for that, and congratulate Chief Hasty on your new role starting in January. All right?
Congratulations.
Yep.
You want to vote on that?
All right. All in favor say yay.
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 Any opposed say nay.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Good job.
And I'd also like to say, we appreciate your service so much, Chief Williams, and we appreciate you passing the torch.
Yes, sir. Thank you. All right, item 19, resolution number 2025-307. It's entering into a contract with Neil Schaefer Incorporated for professional services to update the 2050 long-range transportation plan for the Southeast Wiregrass Area Metropolitan Planning Organization in the amount of $227,696 and agreeing to allocate the required 20% match of the local funds for the said update.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and seconds for approval. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 20 is resolution number 2025-308. It's amending the sub-recipient agreements with Wiregrass Habitat for Humanity for the critical home repair and weatherization programs for programs years 2023 and 2024 to extend the contract term through September 30th of 2026.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and second is for approval. Any discussion? All right, all in favor say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 21, resolution number 2025-309, entering into an end-user license agreement for the use of the Doble relay testing software relating to electric system relay records.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and second is for approval. Any discussion or questions by the commission? All right, all in favor say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 22, resolution number 2025-310, entering into an agreement with Centurisk for appraisal services of insured city structures at a cost of $44,890.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second is for approval. Any discussion or question? All in favor say yay.
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 Any opposed say nay. Item 23, resolution number 2025-311. It's approving a modification agreement from Active 911 and the software subscription renewal invoice in the amount of $3,195.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second for approval. Any discussion? All in favor say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item number 24 on your agenda is resolution number 2025-312, entering into an agreement with Pneumo Group LLC to administer and collect the city's vape taxes for a 3-year period beginning November 1 of 2025.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and seconds for approval. Any discussion? All in favor say yay.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 25, resolution number 2025-313. It's appropriating the funds to satisfy outstanding encumbrances for the fiscal year ending September 30, 2025.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and second for approval. Any discussion or questions from the commission? All right, all in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 26, resolution number 2025-314, reappointing Neil Holloway and Rebecca Long as members of the Planning Commission.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and seconds for approval. Any discussion or comments?
I'd like to thank both for continuing to serve.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Give me Dave, come on.
Yep. All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. 27 is resolution number 2025-315, reappointing Hayne Hollis and Dr. James Kelly as members of the Industrial Development Board.
Motion approved.
Second.
Have a motion and a second for approval. Any discussion?
Thanks to both for continuing to serve.
All right. Thank you, sir. All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 28, resolution number 2025-316, appointing Jamar Walton as supernumerary member of the Board of Zoning Adjustment.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second from our approval. Any discussion?
Thank you to someone new for serving. How about that?
Yep. Thank you, Mr.
Mr.
Walton.
Mr. Walton's going to do a great job for us. He is.
All right. All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Resolution number 29, item number 29, resolution number 2025-317, appointing Frederick Thomas as a member of the Historic Preservation Commission.
Motion for approval.
Second.
A motion and a second is for approval. Any discussion?
Thanks for serving.
Yeah, just want to say thanks to Dr. Thomas for stepping up and serving in this capacity.
All right. Thank you, sir. All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 30, resolution number 2025-318, appointing Jonathan Clay Dempsey as a member of the Substance Abuse Board.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second is for approval. Any discussion or comments?
Thank you, Clay.
Thank you, Clay, for serving. All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 31 is resolution number 2025-319, awarding the bids and approving other purchases over $30,000 by the city.
Motion for approval.
Second.
Motion and a second is for approval. Any discussion?
One thing I'd just like to add for the public's benefit, so we get this packet this thick of stuff for every meeting, and all these things that are contained here, we have the ability to go through and review it. So when we don't go through line items on some of these things, it's because we've had a chance to review it prior to, and these are all valid, so thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the explanation. All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 32, resolution number 2025-320, approving the advanced travel request for city employees.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and a second is for approval. Any discussion? All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. Item 33 is approval of an update to the city commission policy number 10, purchasing to incorporate federal uniform administrative requirements for federal grant awards.
Motion approved.
Second.
Motion and seconds for approval. Any discussion or questions? All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for adjourn. All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay. All right, sir, we turn it over to you, city manager, for admin portion of this meeting.
Thank you, sir. First item is approval of minutes from October 21st, 2025 meeting.
Motion for approval.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for the approval of admin meetings for October 21. All in favor say yea.
Yay.
Any opposed say nay.
All right, the next item is privilege of the floor. We have one from Mr. Sam Tu.
All right.
Mr. Tu, just to let you know of the items that you submitted, you can speak on item 1 and 2, but not items 3.
Let me ask you one question before I start then. Hitting the deadline at 5 o'clock yesterday? I received a reply at 9:15 this morning.
It doesn't matter what time the deadline for you to apply. If it doesn't meet our requirements, you can't speak on it.
I think it does. But let me go ahead. I'm going to be the bigger man. Hold on. I'm going to be the bigger man here. And I'm not going to talk about any of those things, okay? I'll start out by this. I noticed the dome of this civic center, and I've been around mildew removal for years. Y'all clean it probably once annually. It lasts about 6 months, and it just looks terrible. I volunteered to clean that dome, and it cost you virtually nothing. I have an invention, I don't know if you know about it or not. I got an invention called Mildew Warrior 88. You may think I'm ignorant, but John Downs has bought one, Pat Thomas, Lee Thomas that works with him. But I'll give y'all one. You got mildew all over this town, you're steady building buildings, but you're not cleaning much of nothing. You get up there on the sidewalk at Troy Street beside Bella's, it's dangerous walking down there, honestly. That slime or that drain is going on top of the sidewalk rather than under it. Okay. I signed up to talk about discipline of officers. Apparently, they're not going to let me talk about that. But let me say this. I resolved a lawsuit July 1st of 2024. I can't talk about the details of that at all, and I realize that. But I can say this. Since I spoke at the first commission meeting, there's been 18 actionable offenses against the city of Dothan by officers and being expelled from commission meetings without just cause. We got a big flag out there, and it bothers me that we don't respect it. People died for our right to redress government. Around here, we don't get that right, and we deserve that right. You got a flag out there, and he's not going to want me to say this, but I think you ought to put Don Bennett's name, and I'll pay for whatever the cost to put on that flag. He believes in the flag. He fought for that flag. Thousands of people died for that flag, but right here we don't get it. You've tried to oppress my speech blatantly, but do you not realize I can go to Montgomery, Washington, D.C., or anywhere in the world and speak? Do you think you can confine this to the city of Dothan? If you take the truth and you throw it in the Grand Canyon and you cover it up for 31 years, what's it going to be like when it comes out? If you have knowledge of it, like one person sitting near you for 31 years, and you don't act upon it, you're an accessory after the fact to all of it, which is criminal. At the bottom of this, I wrote this. This is, went through city clerk's office. I wrote, this is to the city attorney. Please cease and desist all communications, including emails, phone calls. I get another email this morning, 9-something. It may have went through the city clerk's office, but she didn't compose that. But I want to ask you in front of all these people, let's make your city manager have no contact with me. I was at a lawyer's office this morning. It's criminal when I tell you to cease and desist any communication with me. It's illegal for you to keep doing it. Okay, let me say this. We have a background of 31 years. Do y'all want to resolve this, or you want to go to a federal lawsuit again? I'm out here. You're going to get the chance to make that decision. And when I get lawyers, I hire AV lawyers, something you don't know nothing about. I want my life back, Mayor. That's all the business we have today, sir.
All right.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
One thing I'd just like to add and remind everybody before we adjourn is this Thursday is Senior Citizen Day out at the Peanut Festival. We'll be having a great luncheon out there, and so if you can come out, have some good lunch, enjoy the Peanut Festival, look forward to seeing you all out there. Thank you.
Thank you.